And we are live. Okay, I think we are live.
Are we on air?
We are on on air. Okay, we made it. It was. I've never done this before, so let's do this.
Me neither.
Yes, of course, me too. Me too.
It's the first time for everyone. It's our first live stream event. We're gonna
Woo.
fail miserably.
We'll crash and burn. Okay, so hello everyone, and welcome to this live streaming event about our first game jam, Arcjam 2021. So we are the Archweave team. I am Yanis. I'm responsible for Archweave's web content. I do the videos, I write articles, and I'm trying to keep up with social media, etc., etc. And I'm here with Manos and Panayotis, the founders, designers, and developers of Archweave. So, Manos, could you tell us a few words about yourself, just quickly?
Yeah, I'm Manos. I'm in charge of the design and most of the front-end development for Archweave. I'm also like taking care of business things for Archweave. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. And Panayotis?
Hello, I'm Panayotis. I'm the main developer in Arcweave. And now you know who to blame when your Arc script code does not work as expected. Let's hope.
Which is pretty much always.
We will improve it.
So this is our first jam, the first time we do this, and we didn't know what to expect in regard to submissions, quantity and quality. And actually, what we got was it was not just beyond our expectations, but I would say beyond our fantasy. We got 15 submissions of pretty high standard, and so yeah. So first of all, thanks everyone who submitted their game and who took time for the jam and for supporting Archweave in this way. We hope you enjoyed it. We certainly enjoyed playing the games, and we'll enjoy this presentation as well. So we decided to celebrate the whole thing by organizing a live stream event and chat about the games. And when the winners are announced in itch.io, we can also announce the winners live here.
Which is in about 1 hour and 30 minutes, right? Hopefully.
Let's see this. It's
this is the first time that we're organizing a.
It says 1 hour and 25 minutes. Yes.
Through itch.io,
Okay.
so we don't know if everything will work that way. It might.
Yep.
Who knows?
Yeah. I've never even. Yeah. So we have this plan to spend to give about 5 minutes to each game, quickly do an overview of each game, and we'll hopefully get through all of them until the countdown finishes and the winners get announced. So I'll just quickly say two things before we start. First of all, we didn't rate the games. We didn't. We only. It was actually the participants that rate the games, and we didn't want to get in the middle of this. So this is going to be our humble opinion on the jams submissions. And number two, we don't know how the ratings are going. So the website itch.io keeps the results secret, so we don't know who the winner is yet. And one other thing is we have several participants from ICANN, which is a French school of design, information technology, and game design. So a huge thanks to them as well for joining the jam. And one last word before we start discussing games. You can send us your comments in the live chat. I don't see any comments yet, but hopefully there will be. And we strongly encourage you to do that because we don't want to feel alone.
Yeah. Or if you have any questions or anything that you would like to ask us, or if you just, I don't know, you want to tell us how much we suck, Feel free to.
You suck.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so shall we begin with the games? Anybody
Yep.
wants to say something before? No? Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to say as well that it was really amazing having all these submissions. Like doing a game jam was just an idea that we came up with and that we wanted to test if people would actually be interested in creating games with Archweave and with the current state that the software is right now. And to be honest, I was not expecting, I think neither of us, as you said before, Yanis, was expecting like the amount of creativity and great ideas that people came up with. So that was really, really nice for us because it shows us that you guys can create amazing things with Archive. And if
Oh yeah.
we make it even,
we
if we
were
make it even,
we were surprised
yeah.
with some of the things we saw. I mean,
Exactly, and it's a great incentive for us to make it more and more like to make it even better and improve it constantly to see like even greater things coming up from everyone.
Yeah, I managed to play all the games. Probably because there were not very many. Hopefully next year, if we host the competition again, there will be many more games, and it won't be easy to go through them all.
but we will. But we will.
Of
It
course,
will just take more
we,
time.
we will always go through them all, like even if there are 1,000 games.
Okay, so shall we begin?
Yes.
All right, let's start. I mean, the order is totally arbitrary. I would like to start from The Last Judgment by Emilien Beuzelin, Thibaut Marchal, and Julien Carrel. I'm going to practice my French accent here, and I hope I'm not offending any names. I'll do my best. So let's go to The Last Judgment. Yes, just a second. There. Okay. Okay. So this game includes some kind of violence, sex, and addictive games. No children under 16 should play it. The Last Judgment is a narrative game in which you need to make choices according to your moral values. You'll eventually have to make one last choice after having a retrospective view of all your decisions. So let's play this. Right. And oh yeah, this is the actual board. So this one is one of the games that have public. The boards are public, and you can see how they did it. But let's play it now. We're not gonna play it. I'm just gonna run through the game while we discuss it, basically. So this one, in this game, you follow the life of Mark. That's the character's name. And you make choices at specific scenes throughout his life, and you see the consequences, which usually are not what you expect. And this is what I found interesting. So you think something's going to come out nicely, and it comes out differently. So eventually Mark dies, and no, that's not actually the
Spoiler
image.
alert.
That's not the image of Mark dying, by the way. Eventually Mark dies one way or another, and you get to choose whether he goes to heaven or hell. And you get a recapitulation of all the choices you've made, and then choose where he goes for the afterlife. And the unusual thing is that this final choice is completely independent of whatever has come before. So whatever choices you've made, the final choice of heaven and hell is absolutely free of the player, free for the player to make, which is funny in case because usually there is there is according to the choices there is some scoring system that maybe counts the I don't know, the morality, or some sort of scoring system that would decide whether you go to heaven or hell. But no, this game actually, you do whatever you want, you get a recap at the end of what you've done, and then you get to choose whatever you want for the character to to go to heaven or hell. Um,
Yes, this is what I was expecting to see in the end. Some automatic verdict
yeah,
instead of
exactly.
my own opinion.
I actually really liked this approach because it it was kind of a philosophical, in my opinion, thing. Like you get to make some choices, and then in the end you get to see a summary of these choices, like an overview of everything you did in this life. Information right there, all of it
Sorry,
in like
can you say that again, because I did a little funny thing with my ding ding something. I'm trying to turn this off. Can you
oh
just say
no,
again?
it's yeah. So I really like the idea that you don't get an automated
Yeah.
assignment to heaven or hell in the end, but you basically decide after you see the summary of your choices. You can now decide whether this person goes to hell or heaven. But what is actually very interesting is that while you're playing, you don't have this overview. You don't know at the time whether you're going to heaven or hell. You just make choices according to your whim. But then when you actually see everything in a summary, you can decide yourself. And I found myself wondering in the end whether I should go to heaven or hell, because actually not all my choices were good natured. And it was an interesting question that the player has to answer themselves.
Mm. So I think, I mean, for me, that if there was a statement in that choice, it was that maybe heaven and hell are states of the mind, so they can be even independent of actions, and it's just how you feel about the actions that you it's basically you get what you deserve according to what you feel about yourself, and not what you do in life. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's how I interpret it.
Exactly.
And of course, the
Yeah.
game calls for replays, and I did play it several times to see. I was very curious to see how it, you know, I was hooked. Okay.
And the different scenes, the different moments that the writer picked are
Oh
very
yeah,
interesting as well.
yeah.
Like the child in the supermarket,
The different
or
ages. Yeah,
later, and this was the game with um, with the drugs and the sex scene, right? Like when you're an adolescent,
yeah,
is
yeah,
this like the scene where you have to decide what to do? Actually, that was
yeah.
really interesting for me as well, because it's a very mature scene, and very and hard to decide about yourself. Like what should I do? How should I how should I treat my character after I made that decision? And is this something that he should that pains him all his life, or is it something is a mistake that happens to every young man or woman, can possibly happen?
Mm, yeah. Well, there you go.
I did like the structure by age. It's interesting to structure the whole experience like this.
Okay. Shall we move on? Actually, we need to
Yes.
keep this short, so let's go back home. So it's here. Play. Okay, so in this game, you're some sort of judge for the deceased. You go and judge their souls. At least this is what the first paragraph says here. The thing is, this game, I tried to proceed, and after a while I got stuck, and I think it was due to bugs. I mean, I did my best to do. So there's a scene where you find a child, and he asks you, "Did you find my dad?" And you give them a toy, despite the fact that you don't have the toy yet, and then you find the toy. So there were some bugs that were not sorted out, and then I find a man, and you think, oh, that's the dad, and you go back to the kid to tell him, yeah, I found your dad, but you can't really say that. So the game is, I think I don't know. I found it unplayable in the sense that, I mean, I'm sorry to say that I couldn't proceed after further than a couple of moments. I mean, I don't know.
Also, ideally, you should not be able to retake the same object
Yeah, of course.
twice. It should be hidden the next time, this option. But it's
Yeah, I also managed to reach a place where there were like no content, so you would get the default like no element
Okay.
content.
So obviously, I mean, the writer had a problem with I don't know, time or
I think so. They
pressure of
submitted
some
like
sort.
they submitted the last minute as well, right?
Yeah,
and some
that's
parts
the one. Yeah,
of the
yeah.
content were in French.
In French, yes,
So
that's true. Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
I had the pleasure to revisit my French.
You see, every cloud. um, shall we go on?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it's you know, it's sad to see a person struggle with what they're doing, and I don't know. I just wish they had the time to maybe ask us some questions, but well, obviously they couldn't.
Oh, by the way, if the creators are seeing us right now and they're in the chat, they can just ping us.
Yeah, we have some
their...
people in the chat actually. We have Evangelos Gavalakis. We have okay. I don't know who everybody is because I know that someone is from the Afterlife ...
Yeah, they will
game.
Yeah, when we start playing like their game, they can just let us know that this is their game, so that if we have any questions or we want to make any remarks, we can just immediately like address them on chat.
Okay, so shall we do Commedia? Commedia.
Is it Commedia or Commedia?
Well, it has an accent on. It has an accent. It's like Tuscan word. It's the Tuscany language. It's some Italian dialect, I guess, or language. I'm not sure, but it's a weird accent. It's from the other side of Spanish, for example. Anyway, Commedia is here. Oh, so obviously we haven't actually mentioned any of the writer names so far. Sorry about that. So let me quickly say that no, the Last Judgement we did mention, and Let's Go Back Home is I only have the nickname, like it's called Hockey Warfare or something. I hope I'm reading this correctly. And Commedia is by Victor Fanton. And let's read the tagline. Oh, the tagline is: you find yourself lost in a dark, dark forest. Can you find your way back? Okay, you awake in a dark forest with no memory of how you arrived here and no apparent way out. Disclaimer, passage. Okay, that's good. Let's play it. Okay, so this is a free adaptation of Dante's Divine Comedy in interactive form. So I haven't read the poem, but the game intrigued me to actually go and do a quick research. I wouldn't call it research, just to Google things about the poem, read a few passages, and see how it progresses. And I can't really make comparisons between the story in the poem and the one in the game, but I really enjoyed this whole exploration. I have to say it was very well done, very well structured, and the atmosphere was, I thought it was great.
Yeah, and the art contributed to this atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. I saved that for later, but yes, the art is. It's amazing that this person found such appropriate or relative art, relating art to the, because it is the actual art for the specific poem by an artist I don't remember, but it's in the credits at the end.
And I think what I really liked as well was that they managed to write in the tone of the art. So the writing was matching very well with the illustrations that the creator picked.
Mm, mm,
You really felt that the art was working together
yeah, yeah.
with the story.
No art here. Just a second. Yeah, return to the woods, and somewhere there's a lion and a leopard. Where are this? There's the lion. Okay, so this is quite a long game. I mean, it's a long story compared to others. I'm not saying it's huge, but and the one good thing is that it allows backtracking. It allows you to replay scenes that you mess up. Sorry, that you mess up. Like I did.
Yes.
The game. So you do you get like a scene, and then you find yourself dying in some way, and then the game says you want to play it again, and you can actually play just from the start of the scene, not from the start of the game, which is very important because I don't know if I could have the courage to just go through the whole thing again and again and keep dying. Basically, because Archweave doesn't have save and restore.
Actually, that's something that you see in like in newer games, right? That they're a bit more forgiving with players, and you don't like when you lose, when you reach like a game over state, they don't force you to replay the whole content from the beginning. They just take you to the last scene or take you to the most recent save or autosave that you had. And it was actually really interesting to see that in an interactive fiction game that you
Yeah.
had, which actually for the style of the game that it had quite some action there. Like
Mm.
I very vividly remember the scene with the giant man hunting you, and you have to jump on the pebbles on the river or decide whether to
Yeah.
dive inside like the forest. And it was really nice seeing that. Okay, I made the wrong choice here, and he grabbed me. But then you just start again from the beginning of the chase, and
Mm.
you are never taken away from the action, so you don't lose momentum. You don't have to move to another place and then just reach the scene again. You are still in the action. You're still in the action till you actually manage to escape him. That was really nice.
And maybe maybe you get a this whole cycling that you can do. Maybe it's part of the afterlife that you're going through. I don't know. Maybe anyway. The whole thing I think works very well as a presentation, as a storytelling, and sure. I mean, you can find a few typos. I think I'm not, but I don't want to. It's not that important. I mean, the whole thing is really well made.
Yes.
And
Yes,
the
I think
death
it's a very
scenes, the death scenes. I love the
good
death
scene.
scenes. I always love good, well-written death scenes in interactive fiction.
Oh yeah.
Should I read a
Oh,
couple of passages of death scenes? I just so at first you think you're doing well, but suddenly you feel a gust of wind in your back, and you quickly join the flow of people in the sky. It doesn't say if you die or not, but it's an ending. It's a part that you have to replay. So another one is after what feels like months or maybe years, you fall and break everything in your body that can be broken. Your body slowly heals up, but after a few years, you're able to find your way out of the mass of bodies only to be swept up again, and the cycle repeats for eternity. The end. This is amazing. I love it.
Oh, Victor is in the chat, right? The creator.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Hi,
he
Victor.
is. Yeah.
Awesome game. Awesome game. Really
yes,
amazing story.
it was a very solid entry,
Is this the one
I
that
think.
every now and then we found some passages that said I ran out of content? Is that the one that at some point? Uh,
I think so. Yes, I think so. I think there was one part where you reach like a soft lock. I think that's how the writer described it. Oh, due to the limit, the content limit. I'm not sure
anyway, yeah. Okay.
if it was this game.
Okay. Let's move on because we are taking more time than we can handle. I think. But I mean, let's
And
enjoy it a little. Yeah.
yeah, and I really liked the change of scenery, the constant change of scenery in this game.
Mm.
as well.
That's probably how the poem goes, I guess. But I'm not, and you know, as I said, I don't know it. So cool. Okay. So let's go to An Indecent Proposal by Monique Alexander and Ian Peck. So, a mother falls ill before delivering her baby and must make a choice that has far reaching consequences. Now, let's play it. So, this one, actually, along with the previous one, Commedia, are the two games that I was really mesmerized by the creatures and the monsters of the afterlife. So in this game, you die at the very start. Basically, you go to the hospital and you die just as you're delivering your baby. And there is a very important branching moment right there and then, and you meet some creatures of the afterlife, and each of them offers you an option. And you follow one of them, and you can go back as a ghost, being able to observe your kid growing up. If you follow the other, you actually go back. You actually go back physically and continue your life, being there with your kid. And the two branches are actually very different. And I find this impressive how different they are. It's not like the same story from different points of view. It's like two different stories in a way. So in one case, as a ghost, you get to observe the various stages of your kid's life, and you've been warned not to interfere. But you get the option to do so, and eventually you see the outcome of your interference or lack thereof. In the other case, there's a whole different story. You still see the various stages of your kid's life, but they are different now, and the thread of that branch is the question, I think, is the child evil? Because the child keeps doing things that I thought of the Omen, actually, of the Antichrist as a kid.
But you don't immediately get the impression that it's evil.
No,
You initially get the impression that something's not right. Something's weird with the child. But then slowly, as the events become more and more serious, you suddenly realize that okay, something's definitely not right here.
I mean, one could say that having two different stories is a writing mistake or something, but I actually found it quite intriguing. And at the end, I think they kind of get justified in some surreal way. You can, I don't know, but it was one of the stories that I really enjoyed. And you can play the one, and then I think you get the option to go and play the other. So after you finish one, you are sent into the other scenario.
Yeah, same here. I actually played this late at night, and it was so like the atmosphere was um so sinister and so dark and so nice, and I felt so very immersed in this dark path of the protagonist. I initially played the story where you get to come back to follow the creature that gives you the option to come back, and it was the moments of the Geminis. I think that was your child's name.
Yeah.
The moments of Gemini's life where you get to see that something's not going well were really nice, and that you decide whether to to
Yeah, yeah.
to help her or not.
And it was
And
escalating as well. First, it was
it was
the toy that
escalating.
he was banging the kid with the toy, and then it was setting the school on fire. So it was
Yeah, and the
building up.
poison, the poisoning of the
Yes,
old
yeah.
people, which was like really dark as well. And actually, I really liked the shift of atmosphere in the end, where you get to the mansion, which is
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and there you actually jump into an exploration mode where you actually explore the mansion, and
Yeah,
you see the
yeah.
rooms, and then each room gives you gives you an idea that something really bad is happening here. perhaps your child is not even human. There's like no traces that someone is actually living here. It's so ludicrous. There's so much money, and then the stone pillar and the scene that definitely I think leaves like a lasting impression is the final scene inside the stone pillar with the sacrifice, and the actual writing of the
Yeah.
demon of the
Mm.
devil, what he
Yeah,
tells you
I
that
love the descriptions of, as I said, I love the description of the monsters and the dreams and visions and all that. It was good. I liked it.
it's really really nice. And the initial screen where you get to pick whether you will go with one creature, the other creature, or just go to the
Die.
dark
Yeah.
star, which was like the dark star or something like that. It was
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
nice because
And you didn't know what the Dark Star was. I mean, I didn't know
yes, exactly.
which was what, which was what.
And you should not know, right? You don't need to know. It's something that's not good nor evil. It's something mysterious. It's something entirely different. You just decide to go to somewhere instead of following these creatures.
Mm.
That was really nice.
Yes, it was very enjoyable. The whole horror story about this reminded me a bit of Rosemary's Baby
Hmm. Yeah.
for a for a while, but it was keeping your attention. Although the text was pretty long, it was so captivating that even if it was longer, it would be
Still captured. Yeah.
very interesting. Not I could not lose any part of the text.
Cool. Well done.
Well done, well done. Did we mention the creator for this game?
Yeah, I did. I can say it again if you want. It's Monique Alexander and Ian Peck.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move on to A Soul's Story by Zeren Chen. A soul that was reincarnated several times and lived 12 lives to find what he finally wants to become. Let's see the page. Yeah, that's the tagline, and we can play. And this is also one of the games with a public project link, so you can check the boards. Okay, so this story, this game is quite heavy with theory of metaphysics. So what happens to a soul, how it incarnates, how it learns and evolves through the incarnations, etc. And I have to say, I mean, I have done a little reading about incarnations and how they're supposed to work, but I didn't find the game easy to follow very much. I'm sorry to say. I mean, and in general, it felt like an early draft to me. The writing was, it was written, but maybe not rewritten, not polished as much as I would expect. I'm not saying it didn't have a structure, because I could see the intent of a structure. You're starting with the teacher, and the teacher sends you to your first incarnation and your first lifetime, and after that you come back and he asks you how it went. But for some reason it then becomes a little fast forward. So maybe the author had the intention of expanding more each lifetime, but instead we get like a bullet list of lifetimes. So we get lifetime number 3, click one screen, and then you go to lifetime number 4. And I lost the immersion because of suddenly there was I felt that it was like a sketch for an actual novel, but I didn't have the novel. I had just the sketch, I think.
I also had the impression that it kind of felt like a poem or a dream, the way that the narration was going, because every screen had an image and a couple of phrases, um, which were more like questions, like philosophical questions. Why am I here? What am I doing? Do climb the stairs? Do I not? And it felt, and this continuous shift of environments and questions actually more felt to me. To me, it felt more like I was inside a dream, and I was navigating the dream and visiting different places, and these places were just um, creating feelings for me and questions about life or about myself. So I saw it mostly as not as an interactive game per se, but more as an experience. Um, and I think that if the author had actually more tools at their disposal with media, like the ability to add sounds perhaps or video or animation, it would feel more like an installation kind uh, of experience, um, and less like a game. That's how I felt while playing it.
Yeah, maybe that's. I mean, that's. It mentioned in the chat here that maybe that's why there was a link on YouTube with a song, because the author wanted to share also an audio experience along with the text.
Yes, that was. I really liked this idea. I really liked that
We
the
gotta fix the
author.
links. We have to fix the links in the. I mean, it's a link inside a link, so I'm not sure how it's gonna work, but it apparently it kind of worked.
Yeah, but I mean, like the author wanted to like for you to listen to music so badly that he actually managed to find a walk around. He included a link inside the option, and you could click on the option and you could open a new tab with a YouTube link.
Why not?
And
Why not include the link in the text though? I mean, it's easier, no?
I don't know, cause you might not click it, or he
Sure.
wanted you to
Okay.
start. I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps he didn't even know that he could do that, but it doesn't make sense. That doesn't. Um, it's not important. I think it's.
The thing is
Uh,
with this story. I mean, the thing I missed more was having a deeper connection with each lifetime. I mean, I I would want more specifics, more specific things happening, because I mean, from my experience, when I write something, the more specific I make it, the better it becomes. And instead of just going through the lifetimes, like just going skimming through them and skipping them almost, this would probably be this would probably work in a novel form, in a a big, large, long form text, and each lifetime could be a huge chapter. Maybe that would work for me better. But of course, this isn't the jam thing if it's so long. But I mean, it's 12 lifetimes, man. What do you expect?
Yes,
but
I would like to see some more interactivity in some parts of the story, which are quite linear.
You haven't played
This is
Photopia.
what
You haven't played
I missed.
Photopia, then that's why. No, I don't mind that, but yeah, I see what you mean. No,
but I agree. I agree with Lulor and or Rain that the music actually helped a lot and gave a guidance to how you should experience the story. Um, that's why I think the author put it in like a place where you had to click on it. It's like,
mm.
yeah, music starts now because this is how I want you to experience my game.
We need to move on, guys.
Yep.
Okay. So let's go to A Good Boy. A Good Boy by Aleshani. Okay, so help your family overcoming your death. And the actual tagline is here. My life has come to its end, but I cannot leave yet. I have to help my family to get better. After all, I was their dog. Which I was discussing this with Manos, and he told me this tagline works so well that it was the first game he played.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
a
For
really
me,
catchy tagline. Well done.
it's like yeah, it worked so well for me that like it's a dog, it's a ghost dog. that's coming back to visit a family that loved it and was part of them. It immediately caught my attention.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing you see is then the first thing you see after the tagline is this amazing art. And Aleshani was very modest because, well, they told me I'm not an artist, but I enjoy and I'm proud of my sketches, and I agree. I would say they're great sketches, and they're very good for the specific story as well. They work very well. And the whole story is also sad, but it's also sweet and it's also funny. So it has a very nice balance of emotions, and this isn't easy to do actually. It's
It has everything, as you said. It's sweet, sad, and funny at the
yeah,
same
yeah.
time.
There's the dog.
And it gives like such a unique spin and such a unique perspective to this universe, to this little world. And for the illustrations that you mentioned before, I really liked the that Aleshani decided to make the dog white
Yeah,
and give it a little bit more detail, but all the family members were silhouettes
yeah, like dark
because
shadows.
they
Yeah,
were in the past, right? They were something hazy. They were not there with him anymore. He was just seeing like
yeah.
their
He's from the other side.
memories.
He's
He's
from
from
the
the
other
other
side.
side.
Yeah, so he
Yeah,
doesn't.
we're seeing things from the side of the ghost world. So there's no need for detail. And what actually is with the good boy is the memories of the family, not what's happening right now. He's still like
Yeah,
he still lives with or exists with their memories, and that's why they're, at least for me, that's how I interpret it. That's why they're vague, and we cannot really see their faces or their characteristics, and that works so well.
yeah. And the other thing is that it actually has some puzzle design in this game. You get, I'm sure somebody sat down with a little kind of this paper and started designing little diagrams. This should happen first and then this should happen next, and because you have to go through this whole you have to go through the house and find things that would help your family feel a little better after your death. And the whole idea is great actually. You want to help them feel better.
From a developer's standpoint, I thought the puzzles were very interesting, and some nice unlocking options while venturing and revisiting the screens. So you could unlock options that were not before there. It's quite interesting, this usage of ArcScript.
And I would really like, now that I see the sketches, I would really like to see them all together somehow in one like big collage. 'Cause they look like yeah,
merchandise,
yes, let's
t-shirts.
buy, let's make a poster. And the ending was so nice as well. It was so nice with the squirrels, but
Oh yeah,
such a sweet such a sweet
touch.
optimistic note like that. So that's something that's actually sad, that he has to depart, that he has to leave the family now for forever, but there's still there's still happiness
Yes,
for
yeah, yeah,
him
yeah.
in the afterlife, and for the dog, happiness is something so simple, like to hunt squirrels. He's still gonna be the good boy that he was in the real world. That ends with such a sweet undertone.
Yeah, it was. I it's one of the it was one of the games I really enjoyed playing. Okay, let's move on. Shall we? Anybody wants
Yep,
to say
yep,
something else? All right.
yes.
So the next one is okay. We have two games named Afterlife, but one has dots and the other one doesn't. So let's start with the one that doesn't. So Afterlife by Sarah. So the game Afterlife is a text-based choice-making game about the virtual afterlife in the cloud of Afterlife Company. The game lets the player reflect on questions on existence, of existence in our digitized world, where our data traces keep on existing on hard drives and social media profiles even after we die in the physical world. What happens to your digital twin that you carefully craft on social media profiles once you are gone and can't update it anymore? So let's play this. The first thing we notice is that this is actually a game that makes use of the icon library, the icons that Archweave has. Yeah.
Someone used the icons,
and it works well for the specific game. It actually works really well because, and I have to say, this is one of my favorite games, even though it's a really short one. And I liked it because you're not. It's different in a way. You're not controlling a player character, but you are directly using this virtual machine or this application that can preserve you in the digital afterlife. So it's also funny from our standpoint, because it doesn't feel like they're using Archweave to follow a story, but it's like using Archweave as a portal to another application.
It's like an interface.
Yeah, somebody picked Archweave for this application. And because it's an actual, like a government procedure, I don't know if it's a government or a private company thing called Afterlife, and it even has the legal stuff and touches like terms and conditions kind of touches. Let me proceed a little.
And I actually think that the use of icons works so well with that concept, because it feels like, for me, it felt like they're like light bulbs that turn on and off according to your decisions. Like if I had like a huge terminal with different lights that turn on based on my decisions, they would be just like little icons here and there that show like, okay, you decided to do this, or this happens. And I actually think that it was a very informed creative choice that the designer did to use the icons instead of finding pictures, because they are all the same style and they feel like they're part of the same device. They feel like they're part of the same interface.
Yeah. And well, it's as I said, it's a short game. I mean, I don't know how far it could have gone in a longer form, but as a short experience, it's like a short joke, but a bitter joke about technology or the afterlife, and it certainly doesn't outstay its welcome. It's short, it's punchy, you get to choose several things, and that's it. It finishes. You upload your soul and you're done. Do you do that before you die, I wonder, or after? Probably before. You have to do it like writing your will or something, I suppose.
And you pick if you will be like an audio only thing, so it has like some sort of character creation as well there.
Yeah.
Or you be like just a digital entity, which was really nice.
There you go.
Yes, it touches on the concept of transhumanism.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I'll get an ad blocker. Okay. Cool. Now, okay, let's move on. So let's go to the other Afterlife story, the one with the dots in the name. There you go. So this is by Etienne Laurent, Thomas Lombard, and Louis Farsi. Okay, I can try with French accent if you want. Etienne Laurent, Thomas Lombard, and Louis Farsi, I suppose. Okay, sorry if I mangled any names. I probably did, but okay. Ever wonder what life is after cryogenic? Find out in this gripping short adventure.
When are you gonna be 18 or older?
Teaser. Oh yeah, we just said the teaser, and there are the credits here. Okay, so when we started thinking about the jam and wondering what kind of games we would get, I knew we would get a lot of stories, and I was hoping to get good stories, and we did, but I was also hoping we would get at least one game that had some twist, something different, and it would be interactive fiction, of course, probably, and but it would go beyond the narrative and dig into something that would surprise us, that it would include some sort of funky mechanic. And we got more than one, but this is one of them. And let me just try and find. I don't know how easy it is to find. I can't. It's not. But I have this picture. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there you go. Look at this. We have this image here that looks something between opening your air condition and looking inside all the. I mean, look at that.
It's a work of art. Someone made a work of art
exactly,
in Archweave.
And it's painful. It's painful.
It's it's like when I saw first this image, I was like, oh my god. Like,
We need
oh
to
my
get.
god.
We need to give these people some features. It's- we need to put arrays in Arcweave.
Yes, we need definitely we need arrays and also hash tables for this specific game. Also, probably having an input field could help to simplify filling up the codex.
Yeah. So
And
let's say a few words about how this game works actually, because we. Um, so basically, there's this crazy thing in this game where there is a translating mechanic. You see a code that you start to decode during the story, and there's a story as well. So it's interactive fiction. There's a story, there's a character, there's a world, and there's this mechanic that you translate. Let me just show an example.
The codex mechanic, right?
So first of all, let's say you approach a pod and you get this. So you get these symbols, the symbols like little triangles, and as you proceed through the story, you start collecting knowledge about which letter is which symbol, and you can start building them. But you don't actually do it on paper. The game shows you which letters you have found. Okay, I have to keep myself from becoming too passionate about the mechanic because the story is also very good, and it's a shame just to speak about the mechanic, all right? But I mean, I can't help it because it's something that we would not imagine anybody would do with Archweave.
No, like for me, when I actually found how the codex works, I was like, can Archweave do this thing? I was like, I was like, oh really? Can it do this? That's amazing. And yeah, it was mind blowing. And you mentioned the story that was really great, and this environment, this atmosphere, this universe with the
Sci-fi
mechanic,
thing, yeah.
this sci-fi but a decaying, like this decaying world
Mm,
with destroyed androids,
yep.
this alien kind of. I felt a lot like with the pods, with the dead people inside, and the android. I had a lot of vibes from the first Alien movie, the first Alien
Mm.
film, which I really liked. It's one of my favorite films, and the illustrations, the sketch
Yeah.
illustrations were so nice as well.
Let's show some more of those. Let's go to the robots. Don't remember where to go to the robots. Close the sign and get to the right. I think to the left, right, left. I think the usual door. I think it is. Yep, and then you go to the right. Yeah, so
reminded me
there's
of illustrations in comics.
and it's all very dark and
Yeah, that
dystopian.
I actually have here like my, I don't know if you guys can see.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Can you
have
see
some.
like
I have one
my
of those as well. Somewhere.
because
You
yeah,
have to.
'cause
You have to.
yeah, you have to, but I actually did not hate it. I actually felt challenged by it
No,
to
absolutely.
do it.
And the
I
thing,
didn't do it. I
sorry,
just stored them online.
on Arcweave.
I didn't use a paper.
Come on, you play blind chess, man. You're not human. You're a cyborg. But the thing with this mechanic also is that it is consistent throughout the story. So it's not like a gimmick that appears in some point and then it's forgotten. You actually use that until the end, and there's a final chase sequence with cars, and you need the damn thing. You need to know the code because you pick up the communication of your enemies, and you actually have to know which way they're gonna follow you from, so you go the other way. It's insane. It's really good.
Yeah, and I really like the start with the decoding that you get to see initially, the sign that shows like
Yeah, the
either
toilet. Yeah,
or the toilet, which is like two characters,
yeah,
so it's easy, and then the hunger, which is also like
yeah,
not so
yeah.
many characters, so you start putting down some translations, and then you suddenly realize how the codex works, that as soon as you find characters it starts automatically translating them for you. And that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where the main click of the game happened for me. It's like, oh, okay, got it. Now I see what I need to do. I need
Yeah,
to
yeah.
figure out what are these characters, and how do I use them to understand how things work. And I just really loved the chase scene at the end. I was like so such I'm such a fan of this scene. um the only thing I would personally add there was some sort of warning before you go outside, because as some other people mentioned in the comments, as soon as you go outside in the chasing, you cannot anymore use the codex because you're
Mm,
driving, and you have to rely on all the translations that you have done so far. So when I reached that part, I had only 15 out of 24 characters
mm.
translated, but they were still enough to figure out from the rest what was actually happening in the radio, and it was fun.
Can
But
you actually go out before having like enough characters to go out? I don't know, but I
yeah,
yeah.
because you can uh, the characters the characters are not relative. If I remember correctly, you are not restricted by the translation
Mm,
for the story. You just find the different parts, and you turn on the car,
okay, yeah.
and then you turn on the mechanism for the hangar, and then you just go. But finding the like doing the translation makes you understand more about what happens in this world, so you can understand the note on the pods that says dead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can understand the different signs, and then you actually need it to survive outside. You actually need the translator device to be working so that you can avoid the teams that are following you outside. So I really liked this change of events, and how it moved from like a riddle kind of, like it gave me like vibes of the Witness game, where you as you learn the mechanics yourself, you become let's say more powerful or more skillful, or you actually understand more about the world, or you can do more things with this knowledge. And it felt like the Witness for the first part, and the last part was actually a very nice surprise, because it's an action scene. It's an action scene that uses the mechanics of the translator,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
for me it fit very, very well.
Mm, yeah. Okay.
I want to mention also the hint to the lack of localization feature at
Oh
the start of the
yes.
game, and okay, it is something we are considering
let's
to to
let's see this.
to make,
Go back.
and also the option to set the current language at runtime through ArcScript. Not
But
only in localization, but also to change it at runtime.
no, it's not only
It-
that though. I don't know if you noticed, but it says insufficient item memory to complete this
Yeah,
operation,
that is
limited to 100 words.
that
Somebody's
was
yeah,
really
angry.
nice.
Somebody's angry with with the free account limit.
we should reconsider this for the next for the next Arcjam. But no, really, if there was a localization feature, you could use the same amount of
Yeah, yeah,
elements normally.
indeed. Cool. All right, that was one of the of the games that are surprising. They were surprising. So
Yeah, it was
let's
great submission from the team.
yeah.
Great game, amazing.
Yes, overall, a very, very impressive submission.
Okay, let's go
Hi,
to.
Nikolaos, welcome.
Oh yes. So let's go to your call by. Okay, this. I'm sorry for trying out Ajie Wahyudinata. Okay. I mean, I tried to pronounce it, but I'm sure I didn't do a really good job. So your decisions, your decisions will affect others around you. So it's a short narrative game about picking a choice. Will always have consequences in the end. Okay, click here to play. Okay, so in this game you start having just quit your job because you don't get any inner satisfaction, only a huge salary, and then a dream tells you that you only have 24 hours to live. Whatever you do, you only have 24 hours left. And then you must meet two friends, and the game has basically two moments of choice. One is whether to pick up your phone and reply to a message while you're on your way to the first appointment. And the other one, I think, is what advice you give to your friend. I'm not quite sure if the game is actually if I'm alive and living the last day, or I'm already dead and reliving the last day. But that's a nice touch.
I actually liked that. I really liked some submissions, and especially that one that you are not entirely sure what is happening. I think also this happens in the fifth step as well. The
Yes.
fifth step game.
Yes.
You're not entirely sure that something is not right, but you're not sure what's happening.
It's kind of
I
like
like
what's the name of that movie, the Jacob's Ladder or something.
Yes,
There's
exactly.
an alternate reality that you don't quite get.
Yeah, in the world that I really like that some of the creators, like the creators or the creator of your call, they use still life kind of images, like empty, really desolated spaces that feel cold, a little bit cold, or a little bit like dark, and this immediately gives the impression that
Something is not
this
right.
yeah, I'm in a world that looks real, but perhaps it's not entirely real. Perhaps something strange here.
Panayotis, anything?
I I did like it. I would also have to say that I prefer not to have a linear story again, but it's a matter of preference.
Linear, like a linear without
Yeah.
branching.
Mm.
I think my issue was I think again is one of the games that would benefit from a rewrite. There were some parts that I found a little confusing, like the phone message. The what did that have to do with the parents visiting the grave at the end? I mean, if you answer the phone message or if you don't answer the phone message, so there is some relation whether you reply to your parents or not. But it should be probably made clear. Should be made clear to the player a little better, I think. There's definitely meaning behind what happens and their connections of your choices, but I felt that I didn't get it always. There are moments that I was wondering, why is this here, and maybe should it be rewritten or was it intentional? So I don't think you. Yeah, I was a little confused at times. Anything else you can say?
No, I'm good.
No.
Okay, let's go then to A Last Wish by June Moget, I suppose. Where is that? A Last Wish. A narrative game, yes. Okay, that's a nice picture. So my game doesn't. Okay, so there's no real tagline. It's just a few disclaimers. So let's play this. Okay, so in this story, you are dead, and you're given a last chance to go back and see your wife, and make sure she's all right after your death, which is a very what's the word? Noble cause for a soul, I think, for a spirit. It's like the dog, actually, but in the human version of the dog story. So you visit your home. Let's see this. Yes. No, the illustrations. Oh, it's one of the games that I played early on, and I didn't quite remember how good the illustrations are.
I think, yeah, the illustrations are really nice, and I think it has this nice mechanic, not really mechanic, but more like a narrative device where you visit places that are, excuse me, that are like dark, or that are like black and white,
Yeah, yeah.
and as soon as you interact with them as a ghost, they just suddenly like become colorful. And I
So
liked
that, yeah.
this. I liked that way that the creators decided to do like this story, this narration, because it created movement where there is no movement. They by adding like the same image with colors, you actually your brain feels the dots. It feels like that. Oh, like everything became from like black, it became colorful, and you can imagine how things changed in the environment. And that actually for me felt very interesting, because then I wanted to go and touch all the different places and make them colorful and make them live again.
Also, I enjoyed it for another reason. It's a different atmosphere from many other games that are quite dark or
Sure.
horror. This one is lighter in atmosphere and nostalgic. I felt I like the change of the
Of the tone.
Or the
yeah,
undertone,
It
the
was a
the
different.
the
undertone.
general undertone
I would
of the game.
I
And
would like.
the illustrations were so nice. They are so nice as well. They're really really nice.
Yeah, yeah. I'm wondering if every item should be first black and white and then color, because once you start with the first one, everything else appears in color right away. So maybe that's a. I don't know if that's intentional, but I would prefer if I had the exploration for every item, so I get to see a black and white couch, and when I remember something about the couch, it becomes colored, and then I get the painting and it's black and white, and then I remember something about the painting and it becomes colored. But it's yeah, it's and I would actually definitely want to
Yeah,
see
you mean
this.
it could be used as a mechanic, right? It could be used as a mechanic, like
But it
for
is
like
used.
inside the game.
It is used in the first item. The first item you pick, you can pick any of the three, and any item that you pick first is black and white first, and then it becomes color. But I would like to see that in all the items. Anyway, yeah. I'm just wondering whether it was intentional or maybe the creator also wanted to do that and kind of got lost in the branching of the branches and the elements. But I don't know. But
Yeah, I think it could be used a little bit more as a mechanic. Be used
yeah,
as you said,
because you
like
only see it once. If you pick one object, it's the first object that you see this, and yeah. I would love to see that in every item I explore. It's like a distant and black and white thing, and then once it warms your heart with your memories and everything, it becomes meaningful and colorful and colored.
hmm.
And I would definitely like to see the game expand a little more and get a little deeper with the backstory and the relationship with the wife, because there is a mention that you've died shortly before the wedding, I think. So there are a few seeds and ideas here and there, but I would like to see more character development in that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
And there's actually the option, if you restart, let me see that. There's the option to skip all the game. Do you remember that? You can just die without going back. Where is it?
I think that actually
That's
happens in
intentional.
a few, and that happens in a few games, right? Because it's like, yeah, do you actually wanna go back, or do you gonna just move forward? It makes sense, right? That's
Where is
like
it? Are you
what
kidding
we
me?
would consider to be our only choice
No,
in the
I can't
afterlife.
find it. Is it here or is it anyway? I don't know. But I think I had this first run through where I just clicked no. Yeah. Okay. All right. Shall we go on?
Yep.
In
Yes.
almost a quarter of the hour, we have the announcement. But let's see how many
Yeah,
games
it's fine.
we can plow through. So the fifth step by Linise Kael, Le Marchand, Oriane, Peralta, Fonseca, Flora, and Bellon Amelia. The fifth step, here it is.
Yeah, like, the 100 limit was a problem for many people in the chat.
Yeah.
The free limit. Yeah, probably next time we'll try to lift the limit for at least like the days of the jam, so that you guys can create freely whatever you want during that time, not get restricted by the limit.
So, Cerise, a young woman, wakes up on her desk to find an odd letter beneath her. Weird thing being, it is completely blank except for a single splash of red ink. Or is it just that? On the door, there's a list of steps. Go as Cerise and explore her weird apartment and understand the meaning of it all. So let's play this. Oh, yeah, so we have public boards here as well. Okay, so this is a story of this woman who is trapped in the apartment, or I don't know, I'm just interpreting, because you go around the apartment and it's one of the games that something is wrong, you're not sure what, and I don't know if I read correctly, but there is a mention of taking too many pills, and there's blood on her. Let me go through that. I mean, I just skip straight to the spoilers, I know, sorry. And
This game also like used a lot the idea of like changing colors of
yeah,
images.
from black and white. I actually,
Yes,
yeah,
it's quite a mystery. You do not know what is happening exactly. You have to find out.
Yeah.
and it's very dreamy. It's very surreal. The whole setting is. So you go
Yeah,
to the
exactly.
kitchen.
Yeah, and when she talks with her like boss or her mother, it's like she's in a dream, because she can't really she can't really say what she feels. She mumbles like most of the time,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. It's like, where am I? What's happening? What's the case? Which is, it's nice because it's like she's trapped in this limbo between life and death, right? And she cannot really see, it's like memories coming back to her, but she cannot really interact with them efficiently because she's in a dream.
Mm.
It's their memories. That was nice as well. I felt it was a bit too repetitive. I felt that after a while I was getting a little bit frustrated because I could not really communicate with these characters efficiently. But oh yeah, this illustration is
Yeah, the
really nice.
illustrations are great. The illustrations are great, and they're handmade. I mean, there's paper, aquarelle. Was like watercolors and paper. And the shift from black and white to color. The shift from color to black and white is this kind of a shock, and then you come back. I like that. It's not clear why it happens. It's more like a hiccup or like a spirit cough or hiccup, and then you get like a shock, and then you're back to normal, which isn't exactly normal.
I did not manage to finish this game, I don't know if there was another ending.
Yeah, the ending
I think
is
I think you understand that you committed suicide. That's the ending, pretty much, right? Unless I'm missing, right? I'm missing something.
I think
Um,
so. Well, that's what I understood.
uh, from the final letter, from the
yeah,
letter.
and that was, I really liked that the letter was actually really handwritten, like the whole of it, and you would see the full picture of the letter. Because it made everything so real. I really liked that, and it had like the exact content. The exact content that you could see underneath was inside the letter. That was that gave me the chills, and I hope that was the intention of the creator as well. Because at that moment I was like, oh, that's what happened, and it
Mm,
really
mm.
worked towards this direction as a creative decision.
I have one question here because at the end you can start the game again. You actually have the option to start the game in the game. Um, but I think I noticed that the game state, is not reset, and this is probably a bug, unless it isn't. I mean, the variables uh, kind of felt that they were still in the previous state. Just to mention, I don't know if it's a bug. Uh, did you guys see that, or did you replay any of from the without using the restart button? Anyway,
I tried. Yes, I used the restart button
you
once
used the
or
restart
twice,
button. Yeah.
and I also tried it with the automatic restart that the project has.
Mm.
I did not notice something.
Okay. It's okay then. Let me just show this shift that she becomes black and white. This actually gave me the
Ah,
chills.
yeah.
This gave me the
Yes.
chills.
Yes. You're right. You're right. Very nice.
This one was amazing.
Very nice direction there. Because it becomes blurry also, right? Becomes like something suddenly happened. Your vision was like
It's blurry and it
was
has a little offset in colors. If you see the red is there, it's like the 3D cinema thing. It's got the red and the blue or cyan or whatever. So there's a little offset. The printing is not very it's not very precise, which works amazingly. And there's just a question mark as a choice. Okay, cool. We still have 10 minutes until the thing. Okay, shall we go to Easy Regrets by
Yes.
Oderem. Oderem. Where's that? There. It's about doing things while you still can. Alright, it's a game about getting lost into money instead of family. It's Archweave play mode is this one. Okay. Okay, so this one, there is a room in which you can see your past, and there is this dormitory where you meet two others in a similar fate as yours. There's a boxer and there's a military doctor, and you get to live and relive a scene where you drop off your son at school, and then you go back to the dormitory and you can talk and explore. I didn't quite figure out the mechanics exactly, but you get to find some objects in the dormitory, I think, that affect the scene slash memory with your son. This is probably afterlife, the afterlife in some way.
It was like Groundhog, kind of like a Groundhog Day concept, right? Because you would live and relive the same scene first with your son, and then you would be taken to this room, like this prison, this afterlife prison with the other characters, and then you would get some information from the prison and some information from your son. So you would need to use the information that you got in the prison, and then
Yeah.
you would bring this information to your son, and then he would give you like another piece back. And then in the end, you would go, you would, like, I think you would escape through a crack into some sort of, like, I'm not sure I remember, like a beach or something, and then you had this chess that you needed to somehow like trick someone
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to, like, with a chessboard. But I did not manage to find a pattern to reach this stage. I actually went to that screen once, but I did not have all the, I think I did not have all the correct pieces of the puzzle to finish the game. So I was kind of like, I stuck.
I suspect you need to search the room multiple times.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
I think that you can, which is not happening in other games. In this one, if you press the option of searching again, you might find other things, I think, because
That's why I said
tried.
I didn't quite figure out the mechanics. So you think there's a counter of like you search once, you search twice, you search.
Yeah, yes, I didn't see the project. Just played it. I haven't seen
The board.
the actual design, but I suspect that you can search the same place multiple times.
The end.
Yeah, I remember you would.
Oh no, it's not the end. Oh, is it?
I remember you would be. Oh yeah, that's the screen. That's the screen. But then you needed to have something, to have some piece, some extra information to actually manage to finish it, I think.
You need the screwdriver and the chessboard, I think, and a note.
Kim.
Yeah, and you need the information from your son that you can steal,
Okay.
that you can cheat in chess or something
Yeah.
like that. Can you cheat in chess somehow? Apparently.
Well,
Look behind you, a three-headed monkey.
But
I
yeah,
know,
yeah, I
but,
think that was
Kim in the chat from the Gremlin game. She says I thought it was a random roll, but I didn't quite understand. Yeah, I mean I should have. Maybe if I kept playing it, I would figure it out. But
yeah,
I wasn't
here.
sure why I found the exit eventually. I'm not sure how it happened, but it's a nice idea having this back and forth from the dormitory to the waiting room, to the afterlife, to visiting your memories, and the one affecting the other. I like that.
I agree. I think this one was very interesting. This has a lot of potential because it actually blends the memories between your afterlife and your, like, like like and things between you died, and you actually can use information from these two to
Mm.
figure
Yeah.
how to solve the
Yeah.
puzzle, and that was very interesting.
Okay. Let's do one more
Do you think we can? I think we can finish them all and then go
to see the announcement.
to see the
Yeah. Just
announcement.
I'm sure
Yeah,
people will go
it's
before us
just
though.
5 minutes.
Yeah, but it's fine, right?
Okay. So through the day by Little Stash. So a small game where you live through a day. Play. Okay. This is actually well. This is the Groundhog Day. This did you play this one?
I did manage to finish it in the end with the death counter at 4.
Okay.
I was lucky, probably.
So this is basically a black comedy take on the classic Groundhog Day loop, where every time you die, you wake up in your bed and you try again. And the funny thing is that there are several ridiculous ways that you can die, like falling through out a window, or tripping over, or I don't know, being naked in front of old ladies, or being thrown out of cars, etc. And of course, you have to rely on backtracking. There's no way. I mean, there's no way you can just finish it with one go, because it's absurd how you die. You just get out of the shower and you you die, or you wake up, you fall asleep, you die from sleep apnea. Um, the thing is, though, my verdict is that I love the idea, but I'm not very sure about the execution. A little more development, I would think, would really do it justice. It reads a little like a synopsis. It's very like a bullet list, and maybe okay. I understand the whole pressure, and I would expect to see images that would fit this cartoonish story, because it is a cartoonish story. It's a little like the coyote and the beep beep thing.
Yeah, you mean that the images do not really fit with the tone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would love to see something kind of appropriate to the tone, something supporting the tone and enhancing it, or contradicting it. But this isn't. I mean, this is contradicting it in a sense, but it's. Let me go on. I mean, it's like stock images, yeah. But as I say, I understand the whole pressure of being in the jam and having to finish something, so I am not judging that. But it's definitely worth playing. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think so. I really like like what was happening with the immediate deaths and the sudden the sudden ends of the story. Where like what happened? But I just went to take a shower.
Yes, this was a bit humorous.
Mm.
Exactly. So that's why I agree with Yanis. It could be like the images could actually emphasize this or work alongside it somehow. I don't know if they would need to be cartoony or they would need to be really really dark to like work together with a humorous story like this. But yeah, they would probably benefit from a from a different style than the stock image style.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why I said maybe contradicting it in tone would be better, or just playing with it. But anyway, it's fun. It's a fun game.
Yeah, I want to add that the counter at the end, although it's a pretty simple mechanic, uh, it's an interesting idea to simulate a high score.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly. It's very common. It's very common. You see it a lot, like the death counter, and actually, it actually was another, like it was funny as well to have this, because it added to the humorous,
There's a
to the
funny
humor of
moment
the
that
game.
you just sleep and die without even choosing anything. It's like you die, you sleep and die again, and then you get to choose anything. So there was a double death somewhere, I think. Okay, let's go on. Let's go to Gremlins in Space. Space. Okay, space is a great place to greml. And this, the team here is directed by Kim Thompson, written by Kim Thompson, Peter Stolmeyer, and Nick Wright. And we have some gremlin art by Brystar, Nick Wright, and counter art by Leo Thompson, Kim Thompson, Peter Stolmeyer, and Nick Wright. And there's a cover composition and logo by James Panto. And yes, okay, everybody's Twitter is underneath. So there is too much order in the universe. Okay. There is too much order in the universe. It is your great duty to enter these boring places of wire and gear and free it to be the beautiful chaos you know it can be. Choose where to go, what to do, and even who you are in this furry, chaotic quest. Okay. So the first thing I can say is that you play it for a few choices and then you realize the whole philosophy behind this universe. And this is what I find hilarious. First of all, is that instead of a higher divine order, like a god, these creatures actually believe that chaos is important, but not because they're mischievous. They believe that this is the right thing to do. This is the amazing take. I think it's not that they are evil or they're mischievous, consciously mischievous. They believe they're doing the right thing. So it's
they just want to increase their Gremel sense. But there is a god in the end. Like, remember, there is like this.
Yeah, there is a god, of course.
God, and you get to like
yeah.
It's like this. It's like Santa Claus, right? Because they're like, hey, let's see how mischievous you've been to see if you're gonna go to the correct place. But it's reversed.
It's reversed. Yeah, if
you're gonna be rewarded if you were mischievous enough in your life.
Yeah.
And actually, your life is just a day, right? It's just like just one mission, like in one ship.
Not one day though. Is like, I think they live like 5 years or something, because the Yoda character here is like 5 years old, I think, or I don't remember. It may be your first birthday, but you are still a grub until I'm satisfied. So the first birthday is like he's 20 or something for a human, I suppose. I just want to read this. Like, an object in motion may stay in motion, but nothing is ever certain to go off the rails if there is not a guiding claw to make sure. So this is part of the philosophy that is so hilarious and amazing. This is good world building for me. This is like everything has been woven in very, very skillfully.
Yeah, and it's like science fiction with fantasy, with like kind of like a Christmas. I felt like this could be like a Christmas game, actually, because you were like tinkering with things, and you were like small and going into a small place, and I could really imagine it as a Disney film or as a Pixar film, where your hero is like this mischievous little gremlin and like just wreaks havoc everywhere.
I actually had to Google to see gremlins in Wikipedia as beings, because I didn't actually know that they were so connected to aircrafts and messing up aircraft specifically. I didn't know that. So this is why you go to spacecrafts. And So let's move on a little from this one and go to there is a character design. Sorry, you want to say, Panayotis, something?
I just want to mention that the game is pretty large in size, and it shows because you have pretty many options choosing quest at the start. So it's
Very
a large.
replayable. It's very
It's very
replayable.
replayable and a large production.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it's the biggest team, right? The biggest team that
Yeah, I think so.
um, and it had like like character creation. You did to choose like a ship. You did to choose your discipline, whether you would be like in chaos or love. So there was like a lot of. Well, it
Yeah.
actually felt like a role playing game.
Mm.
At,
Yeah, it
like
is.
for
It
the
has RPG elements. Yeah.
and you also increased your grammar sense at all time. Like whenever you would succeed somewhere, you would increase your grammar sense, and that this actually felt like you have like this stat that you, as you increase it, you become more powerful and you can do more things with it.
And then after those choices, you get the 3 spaceships that you can sneak into, and then there is some geography. You move around, and you have puzzles, and some of them are quite. You have to really think, and
Yeah,
also pick up the pieces, the missing pieces of information. How can you make the ship blow up, but with the right timing? Not right away, because you are in it. You have to program the blowing up and then kind of leave before it does so. It's
I really like the valve puzzle
the
actually,
valve
where you have
puzzle.
to make like all to have them like all on high level just to make sure that they're ready to explode.
And then there's another one with cables, and I'm not sure what the third one. If there's, I'm not sure what happens in the third spaceship. I think I did the two spaceships. But I think this is the game we were discussing, that we should find a way to have maps in Arcweave.
Yes. Ideally,
Yeah.
I personally would like to have a world map somewhere to show me where I am. But
Yeah, like
this is not
locations.
yet doable by Arcscript. So that's another task for us.
And
Yeah, I also felt that in quite a few games, and especially this one, because I was getting confused, like which floor should I go? Should I go to the upper floor? Should I go to the bottom floor? At least for the ship that I played, and I was also thinking the same thing. Like, what it would be awesome if I could like have some sort of location-based system that would show me where I am, um, and help me navigate.
mm, mm. And this is the other game that had. I mean, the puzzles. Those puzzles also is the other game that required some under the hood coding or element manipulating and branching, and I mean finding the valves and all that required some visual coding. Isn't that how it's called? Visual coding with using Arcweave. I mean, you have to make things that could have been done easier with arrays or with enums or whatever, which is a challenge, I guess.
But that's one of the really nice things that this Arcjam helped us see, like all the like what new features we could add there to help like the games become more immersive, like make it easier for the creators to realize their vision, and see also like what people can actually do with the current state of the software, which
With
is
the limitations.
really amazing.
Okay, I didn't really. Well, those images I also liked. Those ones, the spaceships. Are those the encounter images? The ones described as encounter art in the credits, perhaps? But I mean, yeah, okay. Awesome game.
and so many illustrations, right? So many images.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has everything, everything for everyone. Puzzles, very well rounded story, very good use of the code, Archscript, very nice art,
Lore, like the
lore.
world building, like
Yeah.
this crazy setting with the gremlins in space.
And finally, there is the afterlife thing. It's the you get the. I don't know. Did you ever? Can you fail that? I didn't quite. I never failed that. Is there a way to fail that? Like if you don't greml properly, you probably fail the the ending or some way. But I didn't. I don't know. I was a good gremlin. I just messed up everything. So
Yeah, I also think I was a good gremlin. I got the goddess. The goddess was like, yeah,
really happy with
you
you.
you go to the gremlin
To
heaven. You
Valhalla of
you
gremlins.
you were you destroyed many things. I'm happy with you.
Okay, let's do the last one. And the last one is
Yep.
Freddy or Fred Die, Hunger After Life. So Freddy goes through all sorts of shenanigans to find food and make friends. Yes, okay. Oh, there you go. Satirical parody. So Freddy hasn't been a zombie for long and needs to learn how to get by as one. He also misses his old friends, but also hungers for some tasty treats. What will he do during his day? Okay, so let's play that. We can also see the boards. They're also public, but let's play it. So, a zombie comedy
That was a funny one.
with great art.
Yeah, with great art, yes.
So this was just pure fun. I mean, I like, I'm I've had enough of zombie culture, pop culture, the last couple of decades. I was very crazy about zombies in the beginning, but then the more movies I watched, I said, yeah, okay, yeah, zombies. Yeah, I kind of got bored at the end. But this is quite fresh. And there's this character who is actually quite conscious of what's going on. So it's not like a brain dead zombie. And he even has a inner conflict of needing to eat human parts, but also trying to be kind with people.
Yeah. Because he still has morale, right? He's a zombie, but he still has his values. He doesn't want to kill people just like that.
And then you can just wait a little longer. Something magical might happen. Oh,
There is an
congratulations!
inner
You
inner
just got even
conflict
hungrier.
between moral and hunger.
Okay, so I mean the writing is really funny. It has its own style, and it's
And it's very surreal.
it's not
I felt that
forced. Yeah, well, obviously it's surreal to say that somebody gives you their arm as a reward
Exactly.
for helping them take a
It's like,
selfie or
thank
something.
you for helping me. Here's my arm. But I really liked, like as you said, the humor was amazing because you helped this Instagram girl at some point where she has like these followers and stuff, and then if
Yeah,
you
right.
help her, she gives you her nose, and she's like, you know what, you can have that because I was gonna do a plastic surgery anyways. And actually it's like, that makes sense, I guess.
Oh, so is there an excuse for the other guy as well? What does he give?
Yeah, I mean,
The ears
I
or
think
something.
he gives you like his ear or
And
his
what's
arm. I'm not sure. I think someone gives you his arm. I think.
Yes, yes, if
you
I
can also
remember well.
steal. You can also like grab the arm and just run or something.
If you are desperate,
And the mechanics is that if you use violence, the morale goes down.
drops, yes.
Yes, and I think what you want to do is like to have the like the highest morale and the lowest hunger at the end,
At the
like
end. Mm.
to have like this.
But it's well, it's a shame because the creators just write in the page of the game that they didn't manage to get it finished on time. By the way, they are called Nikki and Eric, the writers, and they didn't manage to develop it as much as they wanted. So hopefully they will get back to it and make it a little as they make it as they wanted, and we can have more fun. So shall we go to announce?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
So these were like all the submissions, right? We didn't forget anything.
I think that's all. So Indecent Proposal, let's go back home. Yeah. Yep. So, where is this thing now? Overview? No.
I don't know.
View results. There you go.
Results. Oh, there's results.
Good boy. Ranked first with 10 ratings. Well done.
Congratulations.
So,
Congratulations.
ranked first overall as presentation, narrative, theme incorporation, and it was third with quality of writing. Mechanics, it ranked 4 with mechanics. Well done. Well done, Aleshani. A really good game.
Very nice.
And then ranked second, Fred Die. There it is. So it ranks first as mechanics, first in regard to mechanics, second overall. Quality of writing and narrative is number 3. Theme incorporation, it ranks 4. And presentation, it ranks 5. Well done.
Well done.
Third is An Indecent Proposal by Momo Coral, ranked third with 10 ratings. So the quality of writing is first. Narrative is it comes second. How am I? I'm not saying this right, but it comes second in regards to narrative or something. But you know what
I think it's the overall rank, right? So it got
Yes.
like the
Yes.
so indecent proposal got like overally the like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
best
No,
rank
no.
out of all the.
The best score.
My syntax is not well. I mean, we say it ranks first in quality of writing. Is that good enough to go on? So it ranks second in narrative and theme incorporation, and overall it is the third game, third place. It ranks sixth in the mechanics and seventh in presentation. And then we get Afterlife with the dots by Louis Farsi, Waffle Buffle, and Thumbback. So this ranks fourth. It has second. It ranks second in mechanics, third in presentation, fifth in theme incorporation, sixth in narrative, and seventh in quality of writing. And then I'll just go through the names. We have Commedia. Then is the Fifth Step. Then is Gremlins in Space. Then is Your Call. Then is Afterlife. Last Wish. Last Judgment. Easy Regrets. Through the Day. A Soul Story. And Let's Go Back Home. So, well done, everyone.
Well done.
Well done, everyone.
Again, I want to say that it was awesome for us to have 15 submissions and of such good quality.
Yes.
I think you agree with me, guys.
Definitely. Like those are like some amazing games. I don't think we could imagine like having such creative ideas from people because actually when we started Archweave, we were not imagining that it could become as well like an interactive fiction software that like when we started it we were thinking of creating like a content management system for games, and as we progressed and we're testing things out, we created the prototype mode, and at some point we said, hey, the prototype mode could actually be used to create small interactive experiences or short interactive experiences. And it's at least for me it's really nice seeing that people can use this software to create full games. It's um, it gives I think it shows that there's so many more things that we can do with it, and so many more features that we can add to make it more like a piece of software that people will want to use to both organize and create games.
Yes, and if you need extra features or to suggestions or any questions to ask, please reach out. And
Yeah,
yes, every suggestion, every talk with you is valuable for us. It's important.
So, are there any questions now in the chat? I see a lot of congratulations and drum rolls and. I mean, you don't have to ask questions now, but for your information, even though it's muted, I heard you type anyway. Yeah, it's some. I'm not, I haven't done this before, so.
yeah. I mean, I'm pretty proud of us that we managed to like bring this Arcjam to fruition, and we actually managed to bring this live stream into fruition as well.
And it, yeah,
Because these are
it didn't stop. It didn't crash and burn the live. I mean, we were certain that at least one of the three would just pause at some point because
yeah.
slow.
Okay,
internet.
and we should let also the winners know that they should contact us either through Discord or through email or through itch.io, like whatever channel they feel more comfortable with, and let us know um, what's the prize that they want. Yanis, I think you have like put some rule in Arcjam that the
Yeah,
first
just to make it, just not to make it too slow. I mean, just to get it the things going with the pricing with the prizes. I think it's fair enough to leave 3 days for the winners to contact us saying that Aleshani should first pick which prize they want from the pool. So we have two pro submissions, two pro subscriptions for Archweave. We have a subscription in the Wireframe
magazine.
and we have a Steam gift card.
Gift card.
So Aleshani should contact us first and say which one they prefer, and then the Freddy team should contact us, Nikki and Eric, say which one they prefer, etc., etc. We'll see how we'll do that on Discord, I guess, and but yeah, it's good if we don't let this go on for more than 3 or 4 days. So people know
to wrap things up, and afterwards we're gonna create a new page on Archweave website to host like the jam and the submissions and like a summary. Yeah, the winners and everything, so that they can be in eternity. They can live in eternity in our website.
In the afterlife.
in the afterlife.
How can we top this theme next year? Wow, I don't know what we can come up with. there's somebody. Victor says, "Question: When's the next jam?" Well, next year, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely next year, but we'll see if we can make it even earlier. But something that I would really like to for us to do, if we can, is to be able to include in Archweave the option to have sounds and music.
Yeah.
In prototype, before.
Definitely want that.
Because it's actually like it gives you more ways to express yourself, right, and create
and more input methods, not only choices. Maybe some input fields or
get
some
lamp,
select.
open door. god, a parser.
All right.
Well, that was great fun. Well, thanks everyone who was with us. Again, more people than I expected. Thank you so much. And we'll see.
Thanks
you.
everyone for being in Arcjam and for being here in the live stream with us as well.
Exactly. We felt we were in good company.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You try to get lamp, but it doesn't work. The door is locked. Exactly. Thank you.
Exactly.
So
I don't understand this command. I don't understand by what you
no,
mean by
come on.
door.
I love parser games. I mean, anyway, I'm doing this whole YouTube series, not only parser games, but interactive fiction games. It's but anyway, I don't know. Great. So shall we wrap this up?
Yes.
How do we do that?
Just,
We just fall asleep.
just push the button. Just kill it. Just kill it. No. Just,
Anyway,
no,
thanks again.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
everyone for participating and for being here with us. Congratulations to all participants once again.
Congratulations
Really nice
to all the
games.
winners.
Yeah, congratulations to all the winners.
And congratulations to everybody. Yeah, to everybody who participated. You know, I could feel the pressure of some of the submissions, and it deserves a congratulation. Congratulations.
And sorry if we did some mistakes in this jam, and we were like not everything was running perfectly. But I hope we also learned from it. So our next one will be more organized and will take care of more things. But yeah, thanks everyone for being part of it.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone.
So I'll have to kill it now, and it
Kill
will
it.
live. It will live in the afterlife of YouTube forever and ever and ever and ever. So bye bye everyone. See you.
Bye bye
In
everyone.
Discord.
Bye.
See you in Discord anytime, and see you in the next jam, which is hopefully next year. There you go.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye everyone.